Hello, welcome to the Garden Gurus. I'm Trevor Cochran. We have got another fantastic program for you, packed full of down-to-earth gardening advice. Here's what's coming up on today's show. This week on the Garden Gurus, Sue shares her citrus care tips. Darrin turns bare walls into living gardens. And I look at natural habitats you can create in your own backyard.
With so many flowering and fruiting plants in the garden, one of the biggest tasks coming into the warmer weather is having a good watering routine. So if you've been looking for a hose that is not only long enough but is also tough enough, you can stop searching. This is the Holman Yardmate Garden Hose range, and there are several different lengths to choose from. 10 metres for smaller gardens, 30 metres for larger gardens, or a 20 metre for medium-sized gardens like this one. By having a hose with a lot of length like this one will make watering this garden an absolute breeze, and installing it is really quick and easy, and we'll be popping it onto this post right here. A wall or fence post with a tap or water tank close by is the perfect spot. All you need is a few tools on hand and you'll have it set up in no time. Having a retractable hose can up your watering game, but they're also nice and neat. And the great thing about these systems is that they have an automatic layering mechanism, which means they'll go back into their housing unit neat every single time, and we won't have to worry about any tangled or messy hoses in the garden. This hose is extremely durable and tough. Now you might be wondering how a hose can be tough. Well, it's developed with UV stabilised protection, anti-twisting and kinking, which is a dream. And to top it all off, it has a burst pressure of 1200 kPa. How nice is this? The swivel action means I can get around the garden without tangling myself into a mess, and I can get to all those hidden corners in the garden without any trouble. Plus, it also has a locking system, so your hose won't run away on you as you water. To top it all off, it comes with this multi-function spray gun, which means there's no fuss and you can get to all those important tasks in the garden, such as giving your plants a really good drink.
How amazing are these white air cams? Not only do they look fantastic, they also attract millions of pollinators to this community garden. Stay tuned for more great gardening advice right here on the Garden Gurus.
A couple of weeks ago, I recommended you start growing tomatoes at home. And for those of you that don't have any room, the best way to do it is to grow them in pots. Potted tomato gardens will deliver great crops. And of course, homegrown tomatoes, well, nothing tastes better. And of course, nothing's better for you. It all starts with a great pot for tomatoes. It needs to be around 30 to 40 centimetres wide and deep, at least the same depth. Then fill it with a premium quality potting mix. You want natural and controlled release minerals and nutrients. You want a wetting agent and the very best ingredients. So the first thing you need to do is get down to your local garden centre. I've selected two ranges of plants here. They're both grown by Swan Valley Nursery. Some of them you can get all over the country, some you're going to have to look out for. The range of tomatoes, well, there's a huge collection. These are grown as part of the Metro Gardener range by Swan Valley Nursery. And if you have a look, you will see when you ease them out of the pot, just how healthy the plants are. This is something you should look for when you go into your local garden centre. Don't be scared, just to gently ease them out. Have a look at those roots, beautiful white roots in rich, healthy soil. This is ready to go into the pot, as are they, and I'll tell you about them in a sec. These varieties I've chosen this time are the big boys: Beefsteak, Cannabec Super, Giant Tree and Groslis. I'm going to use one of each placed apart, and stakes will be added to support the plants as they grow. But the spin will be the companion that I'm planting with these guys. Basil, but not just sweet. Now, there are so many amazing forms of basil in the Renaissance range. You've got everything like the ruffle, which is a bit of a traditional flavour, very much similar to the sweet basil that we all know and love. But there's so many different flavours, like this one here. This is lemon, and it really has that lemon flavour and fragrance. There's lime, which is far more limey. And then there's one that I love. It's pesto. And it's actually got like a pine nut flavour to it, which makes it fantastic when you're mixing it with tomatoes on a lunch plate. Absolutely gorgeous. The tomatoes will tower above, rich in fruit, and the basil will fill out the pot below. You cannot do this unless you have a premium quality potting mix like this. Don't make the mistake of buying a cheap potting mix. It's the difference between success and failure. Nothing is better than growing your own fresh produce at home. And if you're using these Renaissance semi-advanced pots, you can't go wrong. Within just a couple of months, there'll be more produce coming from this single pot than you can consume with the family on a Saturday afternoon.
Citrus are one of the most undervalued fruiting trees in Australian gardens. There are not many areas in Australia that a citrus tree won't grow. Seeds of exotic citrus varieties were brought into Australia on the first fleet, and it was only a few years later oranges were harvested around Sydney. Australia has the perfect climate for citrus, and they perform brilliantly in pots or the ground. We're just at the end of the flowering season. I just love everything there is when it comes to flowering citrus. The perfume, the colour, and on a warm day when that gorgeous perfume's wafting through the air, it's just something else. And usually about 1 in 5 of these flowers results in fruit. Now, if any more of these set, the result is small fruit that don't taste really good. So thinning them out is absolutely crucial to big fruit that's full of juice and flavour. Now, it's so easy. All we do is nip the fruit out when they're about a pea size. They are also one of the fruit trees that don't require pruning to continue to produce. Stand back and take a look at the tree before you decide whether it requires a trim. Sometimes a tip prune is all a citrus tree needs to maintain bushy growth and lots of fruit. They're pretty forgiving, and I only recommend pruning if the fruit is too high to reach. It's a waste to feed the birds. At this time of the year, get down at ground level and check out the trunk. Look for ants. Now, ants are the indicator species that you may have scale insects amongst the foliage. Scales secrete sweet honeydew that the ants feed off. Now, the best way to get rid of the ants, and the easiest, is to get some duct tape and wrap it around the trunk, sticky side out. The secret to healthy trees is regular feeding. They are the one plant that tells you what nutrient they require through their foliage. Green veins or older yellow leaves are common symptoms of nutrient deficiencies. As a gardener, we can avoid it getting to this stage and regularly apply nutrients. The root system is shallow and it's easy to cause leaf drop by a sudden influx of nutrients. It's the reason a controlled release fertiliser such as True Forte is recommended. Feeding plants is also about the soil, and to get the best out of our citrus trees, looking after the soil is important. Not only does True Forte contain 60 minerals, it also contains 24 strains of beneficial soil microbes. This combination results in a strong plant resistant to disease, healthy foliage and nutrient-packed fruit. And yes, you can definitely taste the difference when it comes to eating the fruit. Don't forget to water it in after application because the microbes are activated with water. Now, if you can't be bothered with a watering can, there's also a hose-on solution. It means you can do your feeding and watering at the same time. Now, regardless of where you live, you need to fall in love with citrus. They are absolutely fantastic, whether you've got a balcony, courtyard or large area. And if you're lucky enough to have a large area garden and you're selective with the varieties you would like to grow, you can have fruit for at least 7 months of the year.
If you're looking to create a pollinator-friendly garden, lavenders are some of the best plants for you as they are completely covered in bees at the moment, and they come in all sorts of shades, and best of all, they have a beautiful aroma. For more gardening inspiration, keep watching here on The Garden Gurus.
I had to fight Nige Ruck to be able to get my hands on this story. You see, we both love ride-on mowers, and there's no better way to look after a larger block than to be able to get out on the ride-on and give your lawn a good mow. But if you're thinking about getting a new ride-on, or maybe you're thinking about getting your first ride-on, you need to listen to this story, because this one takes things to a whole new level, and it's all because of IntelliPower. This is the Cub Cadet, one of the world's most popular ride-on mowers, and for a very good reason. They're comfortable, powerful and extremely efficient. This new ride-on is, however, a game changer. It features advanced IntelliPower technology, which means the engine responds to different mowing conditions and maintains constant RPM, even if you're mowing up a hill or through longer grass. This means you get 20% more power when you need it, and that results in a cleaner cut and a better looking lawn. The IntelliPower Cub Cadet has all the features my old Cub Cadet had. Easy to use, comfortable to ride on, a high back ventilated seat for back support, drink holder and cruise control, and of course the foot operated transmission. Best of all, this mower is built to last. They are tough, manufactured in the US to the highest standards. It's good to know that this carries the world famous 6-year warranty, and it's comforting to know that when you're making an investment like this, that they've got enough confidence in the quality of the engineering that they're going to back it 100% for that period of time. If you have never had one before, a ride-on really does make mowing large blocks so much easier. They are easy to drive, have a really tight turning circle, and this level of control means you enjoy precise handling. The tight turning circle allows more precise mowing around trees, obstacles and garden beds. Simple foot-operated automatic transmission makes the Cub Cadet as easy to drive as your car. I bet you're thinking, this is exactly what I need for my 300 square metres of suburban turf. Well, the good news is you can actually go into your local Cub Cadet dealer and do a test drive. And the best way to find your local dealer, well, is to check out this website.
One of my go-to water-wise plants for the garden are grevilleas. And what makes them so versatile is their diversity in flower colours, blooming time, foliage and growth habits. And to top it all off, they are great for our native wildlife such as birds and bees. This cultivar here from Garden Express is called Ivanhoe, and it's a great filler plant as it will grow between 3 to 5 metres wide and in height. And it will also produce brilliant, bright red, toothbrush-like flowers from winter right through to early summer. If you're after a variety that will grow a bit shorter, Bonnie Prince Charlie or obstifolia are a great fit. Both will grow roughly 50 centimetres in height and will spread to 2 metres, making them an excellent choice for covering a large area. This Bonnie will produce brilliant red and yellow flowers, whereas obstifolia will have spidery, dainty red flowers. If you're looking for a great low-growing shrub option, Winter Delight is your pick. And from winter, it produces beautiful red to cream coloured flowers. One of the most well-known forms is Mount Tamboretha with its foliferous pink-cream blooms.
When it comes to, well, spring and early summer colour, a lot of people think of some of the traditional bulbs, things daffs, tulips, jonquils, but not many of us are thinking about plants that come from a very similar climate to ours. And a bulbous plant that you really should consider growing at home is one known as, well, the fire lily or kaffir lily, or some people just know them as clivias. This is Clivia coalescens. It's an interesting member of the Clivia family because it's got a weeping flower. The one in front over here, Clivia miniata, it's magnificent, comes in a wide range of colours and holds its blooms up tight, right up to the sky. It really is fabulous. And these are great garden plants in any kind of garden right across Australia. Coming up after the break, more brilliant gardening advice right here on The Garden Gurus.
A fact of life for many gardeners is that they have less and less gardening space to work with. But smaller suburban blocks and inner city living haven't dampened gardeners' desires to grow their favourite flowers, edibles and fruits. What it has meant though is they've had to get far more creative in how they go about it. An ingenious and hugely popular technique for creating gardens where space is at a premium is vertical gardening. A method of turning walls, fences, really any vertical space into a living, growing green wall or edible gardens. And vertical gardens don't have to be expensive or complicated to install. The Garden Up Mix and Match range from White's Group is an excellent example of vertical gardening made easy. 3 different styles of pots with matching hanging hooks that allows for easy installation onto grid mesh, walls and balcony rails. Simply fill with your preferred premium potting mix and your choice of plants and they're ready to go. Another excellent option is the wall-mounted pots. Suitable for walls and fences, they too are quick and easy to install. Just mark up your desired height and width and drill in your screws. The different sizes and styles make them suitable for a range of application. In goes the potting mix, and this time I'm planting up a few edibles and colourful blooms for aesthetics. I always like to give the plants the best start possible by applying a liquid fertiliser straight after potting. Regardless of the style of gardening we're doing, using water wisely remains important. A great feature of these pots is their water-smart design, incorporating this integrated saucer. The free draining design prevents overwatering, and the saucer captures any excess water, holding it in reserve and allowing it to be wicked back up into the potting mix as it dries out. That's very clever. These pots are great for growing many of our favourite edibles, but we should always be concerned about the potential for unwanted chemicals leaching into the growing media. This is not an issue here though. These pots are BPA free, making them perfect for fruit, herbs and vegetables, as well as all your favourite floral beauties. Check out these pots that come with a hanging cradle. They're perfect for fences and balcony railings. What a great way to beautify a boring wall or fence, or add some fantastic greenery where space is limited. Vertical gardening has many practical and beautiful applications, and White's Garden Up range make it so easy, anyone can do it.
We're all aware of the toll that land clearance and development has had on the natural ecosystems of some of our favourite plants and animal species. It's left many of them quite threatened or endangered in the areas where we live. Now, it's not all bad news. We can actually do some pretty positive things at home ourselves by creating habitats that these animals can have that is effectively a sanctuary from the fast developing world we live in. Now, to learn more, I've headed to Caversham Wildlife Park, and the work that the team here are doing in the conservation of many of these species is incredible, including creating habitats for them to enjoy and live in. Caring for the environment can start in our own backyard, and I've sought the expert advice of Debbie Thorne-Morley for some handy tips to provide healthy habitats for Aussie birds in our home garden. Deb, so many of us just love having native birds coming into our backyards, but it's all about creating the right habitat. And here at Caversham Wildlife Park, you guys have done that within your enclosures to make sure these species are super happy. How do you do it?
So we obviously are trying to plant as many native plants as possible.
Yep.
We try and plant them multi-layered as well. So we're catering for different native species by having different native plants at different heights.
Okay.
And those plants provide obviously a home, but they provide food as well.
Very important, and of course moisture is a critical thing. Fresh water is vitally important too.
Absolutely, like the creek in this aviary, fresh water for our native birds is hugely beneficial.
Many of the plants that you've chosen, I notice, are producing flowers and obviously seeds and fruits for the birds. That's a pretty important thing. But a lot of people tend to try and feed native birds at home? It's a bit of misguided sort of goodwill, isn't it?
Look, I think the intention is good,
Yeah.
but it's usually bad.
Yeah, we shouldn't feed native.
We absolutely should not, because most of the time we're not going to be feeding the right food, and it's not going to be beneficial to those species.
So very much like us, it's a lot better that we have it growing naturally in our home environment than it is somebody else bringing it in.
Absolutely.
It's all about creating habitats that will attract birds. Small changes in our home garden plants' choices can have wonderfully positive impacts on wildlife conservation. It's difficult to express the joy of having these beautiful birds close by. If you want a list of great plants for native birds for home gardens, visit our website or drop into Caversham Wildlife Park. They're just 25 minutes out of the heart of Perth. That's it for this week's show. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, the good news is we are back next week with another great episode of The Garden Gurus. If you want to know anything from today's show, of course, check out our website. If you want to ask a question, become a friend on Facebook. We love answering your questions. And of course, we also have our Facebook Live Gardening Club every Monday morning where we answer your questions live. It's a great way to connect. Now, I'm Trevor Cochran. I can't wait to see you again next week for another great episode of The Garden Gurus. See you then.